All right, welcome back. It is a brand new BHHcast episode. Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam Haig.
That's right. That's how it's done.
Does that make up for all
That's how it should be done. Well played. That's pretty much my intro right there, boys and girls.
Taka.
Yeah, got the Haig in there.
Gather around. Here we go. Brand new episode. Hey, so before we get too much into tonight's episode,
Yep.
I have a quibble with a discussion about the greatest of all time.
Okay. Let's do that.
All right.
Because if you want to talk about Brady, I don't think it can even be debated.
No. I just think the designation, the GOAT designation about being
Yes.
a greatest of all time.
Yep.
It actually isn't of all time.
Oh, because of the future?
It's because the future exists.
It's the greatest of the past. Greatest
It's the
until
greatest
now.
potentially of past and present.
Until now.
Correct.
Okay. So is there an acronym that you could do like greatest of all till now?
The GOAT.
The groan?
The gun, greatest until now.
The gun.
The gun.
See, I would prefer... I
Greatest
think I go
until
with
now.
gun. Greatest until now.
He's the gun.
He's the gun.
Yeah.
That suggests that at some point they won't be the gun.
That's correct.
Which I think we have to agree is a possibility. I mean, at one point, Montana was the gun.
Correct.
And now Brady has unseated him as the gun.
Right.
We're not just don't throw your Patriots crap in here. We're not just
Kid plays
agreeing.
for Tampa Bay. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah, we're not just agreeing that he's the gun.
Okay, here's the craziest stat in the world. Tom Brady has 14 consecutive championship appearances. 14 consecutive one game away from the Super Bowl seasons. The closest, like in non-consecutive, is 7 by Joe Montana. And he did it, here, a couple there. Tom Brady's been there 14 times in a row.
All right. I'm going to, since we're on the subject,
Yeah.
and this wasn't where I wanted
I'm
the
sorry.
conversation to
Yeah.
go, but we went down this.
We did talk about the GOAT, but the gun,
went down-
I'm with you.
Okay.
I think the gun, let's just use the gun.
I will say that when I watch him play now, it does look like he's an older man playing a younger man's game.
But he is. I mean, so he is an older man playing a younger man's game.
I'm just waiting
But he's
for
still
him.
playing it incredibly effectively.
I'm just waiting for him to start throwing the ball two-handed.
I'm not saying that will happen, but it's closer than launching a rocket like some of the bigger arms.
At some point, it's weird because he's been in the league now longer than most of the coaches. So when a coach comes in and says, this is how you read a defense, an NFL defense, he's like, no, I've been doing that for, 20 years now.
Right.
Now, we try not to be political on this show.
Yeah,
but
or sports.
I will say that
Because we prefer niche subjects.
Yeah, really niche
Stay away
subjects.
from things that people are truly interested in.
Yeah,
because let me tell you, if there is a flash in the pan, it's
this-
sports talk.
It's this sports thing or this politics talk.
Yeah. Who's interested
Avoid those.
in politics?
What we should talk about instead is prison bed bunks and air guitars. Let's see if that works out.
So first of all, within the air guitar community, we are the number one podcast.
I've actually seen that. That's pretty awesome.
Right?
I
Those
love
are some pretty...
By the way, hats off to the marketing group for pulling that stat. I couldn't even believe they're like, among air guitar aficionados, you guys are number one. I'm like, how do they even find that in the marketing? I mean, our marketing department's
I
out
think
of
it's
it.
reasonable to say you just say it.
Oh, they just said, okay, because I thought it was based on all kinds of
I don't
algorithms
subscribe
and
to
analytics.
Air Guitar Monthly.
Well, I think people do, and I think apparently there was an article about us.
I
Yeah.
would love to give an air guitar interview.
Can we get somebody to please book Air Guitar Monthly?
I wonder if there is a gun amongst air guitarists.
Oh,
Gotta be.
there is clearly
Gotta be.
the best of the best air guitarists.
Yeah. I mean, there's they compete at everything, right? Like, have you seen that new Netflix series, The Champions?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a championship for everything. So there is if you can do rolling down a hill champion,
All right.
you can do it. You can do an air guitar champion.
Wait, hold on.
This
There's
past-
a rolling down the hill
There is.
champion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. If you haven't seen it, it's a great thing to
Yeah. By the way,
go and watch.
incredibly violent.
Yeah. Interesting, well done,
Yeah.
a little niche in some places, but you can win.
Are they smooth hills or are there obstacles?
No, bumpy hill.
Yeah. And the guy who does Broken Bones in this town, he's raking it in year after year.
They're
They're airborne, rolling down hills.
Yeah, if you're looking to start an orthopedist practice,
this is the place to do it.
you become the orthopedist.
It's a gravy train
in the hill roll town.
You don't even market your practice. You just develop the rolling down the hill competition in your town. Bring everyone there.
That's actually how I came onto the show. I was looking at our sales on our shop with the BHHcast, the BHHcast cast, and apparently it's sold more in this little town in the United Kingdom than it has anywhere else, and it's because of the fact that they just have a lot more broken bones. Where were you going with the gun thing?
Where was I going with the thing about not getting into politics?
Not into politics. You weren't going into politics.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Well, so the reason I was going to ask is if you were ever going to be a candidate for a Hall of Fame, what Hall of Fame would you be a candidate for?
You mean for reals, or what would I want to be?
Okay, so what would you legitimately have a shot at being inducted into?
Yep.
And then, hypothetically, what would you have preferred to be eligible for induction to?
So I'm trying to think, like, in my life, what have I exceeded at the most? I don't know. Corporate Counsel Hall of Fame? General Counsel Hall of Fame?
That's
the saddest Hall of Fame ever.
Let's assume that exists.
It is literally in the basement.
I bet the nominating materials are brutal to read.
Brutal to read.
Who's got to be on the nominating committee? You're like, here's Haig's nomination. 73 exhibits. Got to go through them all. Present his case.
Let's give him the green gavel.
He merges and acquires like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. The Hall of Fame, though, when you walk through the General Counsel Hall of Fame, it's pretty intense. You know, they have like the simulations, like the holograms and stuff like that, where you walk through and they simulate different mergers, acquisitions, people running in asking for their end of year deals.
Let's go down this hallway. I think they have the conference table where they actually negotiated this deal.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Remember AOL Time Warner?
Oh my God, is that the water pitcher? Is that the water pitcher from AOL Time Warner?
Yeah, it's the water pitcher from AOL Time Warner. It's a pretty big deal. We're pretty excited.
You got to read the footnotes to the reception area exhibit.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, this is the leftover lunch.
We definitely go for the trending topics.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
Hey, if you came for granola bar content, you just found it.
Yeah. That's right. So where would you be, Jamie? What would be your Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I think
are we assuming it's a Hall of Fame that exists?
Hall of Fame.
Does the Hall of Fame actually exist, or is it maybe like my Hall of Fame? Which
I don't know.
Maybe
you can be into Hall of Fame creation.
I'm going to create a Hall of Fame now and add it that Adam is the inaugural inductee in the General Counsel Hall of Fame.
Before we get too much further into the episode, I think this is the longest we've gone without Adam coughing.
Why do you bring it up?
Because I want to raise the note.
Now here it comes.
He wore a noisy piece of clothing.
What?
He is
just
literally
a nylon jacket. It's like one of these.
I know,
golf
but every
jackets.
time you move and shift, it sounds like there's a windstorm on your side of the studio.
We're standing out here, Terry, in a pretty big storm. It's a classic 5 hurricane. We've told the whole area to evacuate.
You have the greatest passive-aggressive approach
to microphone.
the sound editing of this podcast.
Screw that guy. I'm tired of that guy. He always gives me a stink eye when I walk out of here. Yeah, sorry. Repeat.
Are they wrestling in a sleeping bag? How are they recording this podcast?
I'm going to go for it, honey.
Oh, my. All right, so you don't have one that you think you'd be...
I mean, I think there's for the NFL, it's a cool jacket, right? So, not that I would qualify for
the yellow
NFL.
Whatever, the yellow jacket?
It is. I don't like the color, but, you get like a jacket. You get something that's, exclusive. I'm not going to whistle, but I can whistle.
I bet I whistle better than you.
No, don't embarrass yourself.
Right now, I bet I whistle better than you.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Okay,
let's do
future
this.
episode.
No, let's do this.
Oh, whistle competition?
Yeah, let's go.
No, let's not do whistle
no, I got to
competition.
prep. I got to prep.
Yeah, although, in fairness, you clearly have the wind on your side. Don't want to whistle into the wind.
Bigger lungs.
Right? All right, so you're passing?
You went too far right there. Too far. Jamie's joke's funny. The bigger lungs thing, that hurts.
Right?
It hurts.
So you have no whistling, potentially.
What are you looking at, sound guy?
You're saying that judgmentally. You just said whistling?
No, I'm not saying it judgmentally at all. If there was a whistling Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you'd be the Whistle Hall of Fame.
I think so, yeah.
I don't think
it would actually be kind of cool, though, if they did have a Whistle Hall of Fame, that like you could go up and hear the person's signature whistle, an interactive exhibit.
Do you have a signature whistle?
No.
Oh, that's funny because every great whistler does.
No, I can do it all.
Yeah, sure you can. Okay.
No one can do all whistles.
Yeah, I've seen the whistle
finger and mouth
generalists.
whistler?
No, can't do that actually.
You guys went away in the 70s.
You would be disqualified from eligibility.
No, that's not real whistling.
You guys went away in the 70s.
Wait a minute, you're saying,
that's prop whistling.
You're saying finger and mouth whistling is not real whistling?
That's like using an instrument. That's not, you need to go through the raw core whistle.
He has no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea. Obviously, it's an entire division of finger and mouth.
Well,
but that's
it's a different division,
it's
sure.
JV,
okay.
It's JV.
It's long distance running versus sprinting.
All right. No finger whistling is like power ballads, right? It's nothing there. It's dainty. It's like acoustic whistling. Finger whistling is like the Def Leppard of whistles.
Can you do anything besides cat call with a finger whistle?
Oh, there are those who can.
Do you want to be Cinderella's melody as she gets her stuff together in the castle, or do you want to shut the world down with a power whistle?
It's just one whistle, one note. Finger whistle is one note.
It stops everything. If you had the power through whistle to stop activity, it's like
Wait, why don't you get up and stand up for acoustic whistling for a second? Because I don't even know if you are a Hall of Famer.
Hold on a second. This is a great question for the flock. As part of the Marvel Universe, is there a superhero, the Whistler?
If there's a group of people that would be better judges of a whistling competition, I say it's a flock of sheep.
Who better
to
be responsive to a call?
Yeah,
than a flock.
Yep.
But I'm saying if you had a superpower, it's possible that a whistle could be the greatest superpower. Like if you went and shut everything down.
That's what Aquaman did, didn't he?
I don't know. I don't follow it that closely.
Yeah, he kind of did digga 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 digga, and all the things in the sea came. He gave it.
Yeah, but that's useless out of the water.
You hear how weak that sounded?
That was not Hall of Fame.
That was casual.
That's casual. That's just off the shot. That's off the hip.
Oh,
it's not competition ready.
That was whistle improv.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It would be Hawkeye. Like right before you get hit with the arrow, there's just a little whistle sound.
All right, we got to guess. Like we've talked a lot about whistling.
Okay. Oh, boom. There you go. Threw one at it. All right. We will be back with our special guest. You should be working on your ballad whistle and your power whistle. Most importantly, thinking about if you were going to be inducted into a Hall of Fame, which one is it?
Drop the feed bag. It's time to eat, sheep.
All right. Taka taka.
Bah.
More podcast after this.
Hey, Adam.
Jamie.
Do you ever suffer from beard inadequacy?
You know, that's funny. I actually don't suffer from beard inadequacy, but I have two sons. Both of them suffer pretty extremely from beard inadequacy.
And you know that there is something you can do for them.
I've heard there's not much you can do about them. Is there a solution?
There is. It's the Fake Beards of the Month Club.
What is this?
That's right. It's a new service that's available right now. Fake Beards of the Month Club.
Okay, but I have some stringent standards on what kind of fake beard I want. Sometimes I just want the chops. Sometimes I want like the handlebars. Sometimes I want the full ZZ top. Can they do all those?
It's like a mystery box, right? So a box comes once a month.
Oh, that's so great.
And you don't get to decide. They just decide for you.
Oh, that's so great.
They follow current trends.
Yeah, keeping you on point, keeping it tight. Ladies love the crazy beards.
The Fake Beard of the Month Club is also available to women.
Don't make me go there.
Is it though?
All right, so how do we find our sponsor?
All right, you go to fakebeardsofthemonth.net.
Hold on a second. That's not the website I use. I go to Stubble Buddy.
That's their direct competitor.
Shh. Not Stubble Buddy.
Stubble Buddy is the direct competitor.
No, Stubble Buddy.
Actually, Stubble Buddy is a pretty great name.
Yeah,
are you guys getting paid on the side?
Maybe they should buy StubbleBuddy.com also.
Stubble Buddy.
So, can we use? Is there any promo code that our listeners should know about?
It's actually Stubble Buddy Sucks.
That's not the promo code.
Go to Stubble Buddy
That
Sucks.
promo code don't work.
Go to
at all.
fakebeers.com. Don't go to Stubble Buddy.
No, go to Stubble.
Unless, of course, they buy Stubble Buddy.
Stubble Buddy.
Are you a Stubble Buddy spy?
Okay. Sheep, you better go get yourself one of them beards that don't...
I read the copy of the fake ad before we started. It's not fakebeards.com.
Coming.
Bendel's is not a real product.
Stubble Buddy. All right, Sheep, welcome back. This is the BHHcast. I am Jamie Bendel, Jamie Hernan, Adam Haig.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Feed time, Sheep. Let's go.
It is time to welcome our special guest for this episode. A good friend of mine. I'm excited to have him joining us this evening because it relates to the earlier conversation we were having. We are joined now by Steve Mason.
Hey, Steve.
How you doing?
Great. Good to have you.
Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, so Steve, for the very first of the questions that we ask of our
I think you should let
guests-
Steve know that he's coming off the heels of a pretty intense whistling debate.
Oh, we were having a well.
Got a little ugly
so
in
hang
here.
on
It
a
got
second.
a little
Hang on
tight
a
in
second.
here.
But before we get it, I have a sense of where we're going.
Okay.
All right, so
I just wanted to
trust
warn the guest.
where I'm going to take
There's
the
been some tension
conversation
in the room about whistling.
Okay.
That's the amateur whistler saying that.
Well, that's what you think.
All right. Steve, do you whistle?
I can, but it's horrible.
All right. Let me ask
Respectable.
you
Thank you
this.
for being honest.
So like, you're on Team Adam.
All right. So as it relates to your whistle, are you finger and mouth? No fingers.
No fingers.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. And do you, as we were talking about it, my suggestion is that non-finger whistlers are like acoustic whistlers.
Like acoustic guitar as opposed
Right.
to like the
They're daintier,
electric guitar.
and the power whistlers are those who use their fingers.
Steve's like, I'm really glad I'm got on this podcast.
did I
I
Thanks,
think you're adding. I think you're putting too much into it.
You
I don't
think?
think that you can. You cannot tie that correlation. I'm sorry, you just can't.
All right. Respect,
right.
Steve.
Okay,
Here
here
we
we
go.
go.
All right. Okay. So Steve's in.
Yeah, let's
right.
dance.
All right. So Steve, question number 1. What does it say on your business card?
I don't have a business card.
That's all the time we have.
All
Thank
But if I had one,
Everybody.
so do you want me to put what would be on there if I had one?
Yeah.
Okay, everything or just, I mean, like the company name and everything?
No. Not company name. Just
Okay.
Title.
yeah. Title.
What do you do?
Product manager,
Okay.
Stephen Mason. I would be a national check professional. And I would be in banking software.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting.
Now, when you say check manager, is that like?
The Czech Republic.
That's writing a check. Yeah.
No. I was gonna say like catch me if you can. Check
Yes.
professional. Really?
Yes. Yeah. That's what I do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm one of the top experts in the world on checks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. Let's explore this a little bit. So, checks in general, do they just have to be on paper? Can they be other than like a paper? What do you have to have in order to be a check?
In order to be a check, you have to have, which Jamie will be able to back this up and talk more about it, but you just have to have the name. You have to have the legal dollar amount, which is written out. So you have to have, ONE, HN. So it would be written out in the $100 bills. And that's it. You can literally take a piece of paper and just write a name on there and write the dollar amount in full written. And that's in a signature.
Can
And
I
that's
take
it.
Can I take a sheet cake and write out the check on the sheet cake?
Do I need
Yes.
do I need an account number on that at all or no?
Yeah. Well, so it depends how you're going to process it. So
Okay.
if you're going to try to do it electronically, then you need bank stock that has the security codes in the back. Oh, that's a normal check.
Routing numbers, accounts. Yeah, okay.
Routing numbers, account, all of that is done by the bank.
Can it
But
be a
just
red
to have
velvet
to
cake?
legally have a check, all you need is those 3 components.
I love that. Okay, cool. I'm going to start whipping out checks without my, checkbook.
So but the qualifier that I wanted to introduce in your particular interview is, what is one of your off-the-clock hobbies that you take time to go do in every year?
Beyond check writing. Because
Yeah,
that's kind of
so
awesome.
this has nothing to do with banking at all. So, whenever I was in high school, so I'm 50 years old. When I was in high school, my dream or my title that I wanted to, like when little kids are asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? The phrase that I always said is, I want to be a gentleman. And in school, I actually got in trouble for that. They're like, that's not an occupation. You can't just be a gentleman. And I'm like, but I don't care. That's what I want to be. I want to be a gentleman. And so in that endeavor, and Jamie knows this very well because I've shown him all the documentation.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Whoa. Before we go down that road,
Okay.
I was thinking more in terms of places that you have gone where they gather the greatest in their endeavors.
Okay, so
Although I think
that
you were
actually
going somewhere
ties in.
Jamie wanted to cut off. So
This is really interesting, though.
Yeah.
well, actually, Jamie,
We're going to go back to it.
Jamie, it all ties together. But
Okay.
yes, I'll go down that rabbit
down that
hole
road first.
instead of the other one.
Okay.
Okay, so the first rabbit hole, when I was in high school, I said, okay.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
The other rabbit
Stop that. Get out of that rabbit hole. Go down the other
Okay.
rabbit hole.
hold on, he's trying to get us to
I
take what's
am.
behind
Your
the
Honor,
big-
he's leading the witness.
Yeah.
So in high school, I said, what is one of the qualities of a gentleman? And that they're well traveled and that they've done a lot of experiences in the world.
Okay.
So I set a goal in high school to be able to go to every NFL football game, every NBA basketball game,
Arenas.
every NHL hockey game, and then what's the fourth sport? So baseball, football, basketball, and hockey.
Yeah.
And
Soccer.
I went to all 120 of the sports stadiums. It took me over 10 years to do it.
That is so cool.
I've got a lot more. So I've been to over so there's 412 national parks, sites in the world, in the U.S. I have been to over 200 of them, so I'm about halfway. I've been to over 90 lighthouses. I've been to all the presidential libraries. What else?
Halls.
Halls?
All what?
Halls of Fame.
Halls of Fame.
Yes. So there is the Women's Hall of Fame and I think one more, like soccer. So I have out of the 24 Hall of Fames, I've been to 22 of the 24. And I haven't, because of COVID, I haven't tried to finish those last two. But once this lifts, I'll definitely be able to go to those. So that's some of the travel. I've been to about 23 countries around the world. I'm going to actually, once COVID finishes, I will be traveling to countries in the next year or two and start, racking those up as well.
All right,
but
so-
that's where Jamie was wanting me to go.
Well, so we were talking before you joined us about Halls of Fame
Yeah.
and the qualifications that you would have or what you would be eligible for. So in your experience in traveling to these 22 of 24 Halls of Fame, what are some of the
What do you think is the hardest
what
Hall
is-
of Fame to
what
get into?
is-
And what's probably the easiest?
which Hall of Fame should be in the Hall of Fame of Hall of Fames?
What's the best Hall of Fame?
I would say
I think I just
zero.
collapsed the universe.
Whoa. Okay.
Wait a minute, none of them should be in the Hall of Fame?
None of them should be in the Hall of Fame. I think all of the Hall of Fames do injustices to the sports or, if it's a women's Hall of Fame or anything. I think every one of them are terrible.
Wow, look at the people in Canton that are actually picking up pitchforks and they're taking up torches.
Try to get into those last two Hall of Fames after saying that, though.
They shut it
Oh,
down.
I'll get into them. They won't know who I am.
You're like the restaurant reviewer in Mystic Pizza. Like
Yeah.
he's here.
There's no good Hall of Fame. Show me a good Hall of Fame. There are none.
So let me, Jamie, do you want me to explain why every one of them's terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say, except for the four major sports, every one of the other Hall of Fames are terrible. They literally have 20 people in there and they just have a little plaque. I think, and that's one of the things that I go when I went to each one of the stadiums and lighthouses and stuff. I was trying how would I improve each one of these? So when I was thinking about Hall of Fames, I'm like, I want to have sportscasters in there, like for the Hall of Fame for horses. I wanted to have a statue of every single horse, and so that I could actually see what the horse looked like. I wanted in baseball. I wanted to have more, kind of like mixing the wax museum with the Hall of Fame, and make me feel I want to walk into a Hall of Fame and fall in love with that sport and not even have seen it before. I want to be so overwhelmed by the beauty and majesty of a sport, and everything, even the Football Hall of Fame, that's considered, as far as I'm concerned, that's the best one of the ones that are out there. They try to go down that road, but they fail miserably.
I think a condition of being inducted into these Hall of Fames should be that you have to spend at least a week living in the Hall of Fame museum behind glass.
Oh, like a living exhibit?
A living exhibit.
Like a night at the museum
you
feature?
get to meet the player. So have you been to the College Football Hall of Fame here in Atlanta?
Oh yeah, I live in Atlanta. Yeah.
And so how does that one sit? I thought it was pretty impressive. I've been to the Football Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame, and this one. I like the interactiveness of this one.
Yeah, but it was still there's nothing to it.
That's true. It's all team-based, not player-based, which is it should be.
Yeah. But the coaches, the sportscasters, there's so many different levels that they don't even talk about. They should have a whole exhibit on every stadium around the country and let you be able to look at it and see the stats. How many does it seat? What is it tailgate? Show a little movie of each stadium and show the great aspects of that stadium. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta say, I like Steven a lot. He and I think, are going to be friends. He
knows what he's talking about.
Well, we're going to be friends because, one, I like that he's checking off checklists across the country and across the world. He's got all this stuff, and I am interested in the other side of this story, which is
that's going to be behind the paywall.
Okay,
we're going to get that for bonus
the
content.
Gentleman story, which I want to hear. Yeah. But we'll come back to that. Because I think that's an amazing, because I like that he was developing his gentleman resume with all this travel. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Right. Yeah. And I like the idea of how polite, as a kid, you're saying you want to be a gentleman. And they're like, you can't do that. And, you have to maintain your gentlemanness in responding.
And I'm immediately thinking the Kingsman, right? I'm thinking of the Kingsman, right? And I'm like, this guy's going to be a Kingsman, with all of his travel and everything. Anyhow.
All right, question 2. You said from Atlanta, although that's where your home is now. Meat and 3 restaurant.
Say that again?
A Meat and 3 restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Yeah,
so you want me to pick 3 restaurants?
No, a Meat and 3 restaurant.
He's talking about this concept that he likes to play this game with guests where no guest knows what a Meat and 3 is, but Jamie anticipates that every guest will. And then we go to this phase in the show where Jamie explains what a Meat and 3 is, and you recognize what it is. So Jamie, take it away.
All right. You get an entree, and then you get 3 sides.
You pick one meat and then you pick 3 sides
as the foundation, and then you get 3 things to garnish the rest of your plate with.
Okay.
All right.
I would say
number 1.
That's
just I'm introducing a concept now.
How could he be confused with your question just being meat and 3?
Meat and 3.
Meat and 3s. Yeah.
Trying to be efficient.
Yeah. It's the worst segment we do, but let's keep going, Steve.
That question?
This guy's a gentleman, so just deal with it.
In the hypothetical question Hall of Fame, does Meat and 3 get considered one of the best questions ever?
I don't think it does.
No?
I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one just it's in its last year of eligibility. It just can't crack 75%.
It's not getting the votes.
Moving to the seniors committee.
Right. It's like the Dale Murphy of questions.
All right. So in your life, what is the meat? What is the organizing principle around which you base your life?
I would say the meat, which would be that other section, that other rabbit hole that we would go down to, is morals and values. I center everything in my life around those 2. And I've literally mapped out, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I've literally mapped out every single moral and value that are out there. I've also mapped out every sin. So there's extreme sins and deficiency sins.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've literally mapped out everything that a person, every single emotion, every single extreme way that someone can commit a sin, and then every way that they would have a deficiency and it would be a sin.
There's a lot of crazy stuff.
So that would be my meat.
You got to have a
pretty
good imagination.
I'm here to tell you,
Sin.
Steve and Ben Franklin are one of the our buddies. They are of the same mind.
All right. So your meat is morals and values. What are the three, your sides, your three, what are the three attributes that you want people to most closely associate with you?
Gentleman would be one.
Okay.
Definitely. I would say sports and the athlete would be the second. I think that sports is the easiest and best way to demonstrate your character. So if you're in a ball game, or especially golf, if you play golf with somebody and you see that they're hitting the club on the ground and they're just cussing and everything else, I mean, you literally see someone's character when you're doing that. So it would definitely be sports would be number two.
All right.
And then the third.
I'm definitely a gentleman when it comes to golf because I always let my opponents win.
Relax. Let the guests talk.
I don't have a third. I mean,
what would you like people to think of when they think of you?
Yeah, when they said, "Okay, this is time. It's
Gentleman,
time to do your
sportsman.
eulogy." What's the thing where you want people to say he was this?
it'd be a gentleman. It would be a sportsman. It would.
Well traveled.
I don't know.
Well, that kind of comes
definitely
with...
well experienced, because there's more than just, I mean, travel, you're really doing so that would be it. It would be that I have a lot of, because I would definitely add the international mail. Ooh. And I think the biggest aspect of that,
love this.
The thing about in an international mail is understanding other cultures and trying to have more equity in your thinking and be more well-rounded from other cultures that are influencing your life.
Perfect.
All right.
I love it. That's it. That's maybe the best answer
I don't need any comment or follow-up.
I mean, it's actually perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. International, I might say, experience, sportsman, gentleman.
And I mean this non-ironically, absolutely genuinely. I think that this special guest might be the first special guest Hall of Fame.
I concur.
Right?
I concur. And if the three of us are the voting team, I mean, and honestly, Jamie and I are probably the only ones voting, because whatever.
I think the rules of induction are you need one Adam vote, one Jamie vote.
Yeah, and then we're done.
It doesn't say which one.
No, it doesn't actually. No, it doesn't say.
I was stuck on that part about. I was stuck on that part about that needs no comment.
Yeah, and then we commented, which is why we do it. That's what we do. But anyhow, I'm excited. I'm excited about this interview.
All right, here we go.
One more speed round.
Here we go. Speed round. You ready?
Yeah.
Who goes first? You want to go first, Jamie?
So do we want to put it on a clock?
All right, we're going counterclockwise. Or are we going clockwise at the table? Because clockwise you go Jamie to Jamie, counterclockwise you go Jamie to Adam.
So these ones are hopefully like really deep questions, but we're looking for short answers.
Quick answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let the gun decide. The gun special guest.
Oh, the gun special guest. Do you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise?
Steven.
I guess clockwise.
Yep, makes
clockwise.
sense.
All right, Jamie to Jamie. All right, question 1. Other than financial rewards, what else have you gained in your current work?
Oh, wow. Knowledge.
Boom. Jamie.
All right. What big decision in your life felt scary at the time, but looking back was the best decision you could have made?
I don't think I've ever had one of those. I've never had any regrets in my life.
No scaries.
Just scary at the time, but now you look back and you say that was a good decision. Was it being on the podcast?
I've never had anything. Yes, being on this podcast is the best decision I've ever made.
I was going to say, I think he maybe went
joining
pass.
the flock. Joining the
pass.
flock.
All right, Adam.
Fast forward 20 years.
I mean, I would like to say that Jamie has known me for over a decade at least. And I think he would agree that I'm very mundane and the average Joe walking down the street.
I don't believe that.
I've known you over 20 minutes and I would not agree with that.
Yeah, I disagree. I can't believe that's even possible.
Jamie, do you agree with me? I'm the average guy.
I would say
as a disguise. Is that what he's doing? He's doing an average guy disguise.
I'm going to agree that most people would walk by you,
knowing,
and make a very classic judge a book by its cover,
not knowing what they're dealing with.
That's correct.
That's awesome.
Yes,
so
I would agree with that.
My question:
I don't look like the person I am by any means.
My question, the last one. Fast forward 20 years. What does your life look like now? In 20 years,
I think I'm going to be internationally famous.
Boom.
Couldn't agree more.
Go no further.
Couldn't agree more.
I don't need. Do you want to go one more?
Yeah, one
more round.
We'll go on one more round.
Okay.
All right. Extra. We're going to go bonus.
Bonus round.
All right. What belief keeps getting you into trouble?
This is going to sound really bad after everything I've said. There's a lot of dumb people out there, and that gets me into trouble a lot.
Good.
Boom. Done. Jamie.
Perfect answer. Move on.
All right, my question is, what was the embarrassing story you were going to tell us about Jamie?
Oh, that's not what it says.
That's not what it says.
I'm sorry, I misread it. Okay, if you could only leave your children one life lesson, what would it be?
Love God.
Okay, good.
All right.
Here's the last question then from the bonus round. Where is a lack of courage holding you back?
I don't actually. That is somewhere that I'm an A-type personality. I'm very in your face, and I know exactly what I want, and I go and get it. So
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Steven?
I don't feel like it does.
All right, that is our interview.
That's amazing, Steven. You said it all.
Steve Mason.
Yeah, honestly, if you're not intrigued with Steve Mason, I don't know what podcast you've been listening to.
I think we need to work on Steve's confidence, though.
Oh, no, I don't think we do, because this guy I want to hang out with.
He's got it. He's a gentleman.
He's one of those people.
I think he's accomplished what he set out to do.
He wears a disguise of ordinary, but yet when you meet him, kind of extraordinary.
I actually love the concept of disguise of ordinary.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
It's that whole Kingsman thing. You know, anyhow. Thank you, Steven, for being our guest.
No, thank you.
We are going to be right back with the podcast. Jamie, and Adam.
Sheep, you better stay close.
Taka.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
So the other day, I'm walking down the street, right?
Tell me about it.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm walking here, and I don't know that I'm getting points for my steps, right? Because everybody's really intense about number of steps these days. I don't know if you've been, like my wife's like, are you getting enough steps? You know, the doctor's like, how many steps do you have? I have no idea how many steps I get.
If only there was something you could do about that.
Well, check this out. There's this new thing called Step Checker. It's our new sponsor, Step Checker. And what they'll do is, if you sign up for a monthly subscription to Step Checker, when you leave your house, they have a guy that just walks behind you and counts them.
He has one of those little clickers, that just clicks
I'm not sure how he does it, actually. I think each one of them kind of has a different style that they do, but he'll go ahead and count them up. When you get to your destination, he writes a piece of paper and hands it to you.
Now, if your Step Checker also had a Step Checker, how many times would you have to have Step Checkers for it to be a parade?
So check out our sponsor, Step Checker, because honestly, I think it's going to be incredible. And you never know how many steps you're missing in a day. And by the way, missing steps, that's no joke. So check it out. Right now, you're getting 15% off if you use the code BHHcast. And they pay for the show, so buy their stuff.
Step by step.
One way or another.
Step by step.
We're not going to pay a license today.
Not a real product.
You better get in there and have your steps and check them, because I don't even know what your sheep are doing, because you got to check that stuff out and all that crazy. No.
All right, welcome back, sheep. This is, I always look, not that I don't look forward to this special guest, and obviously tonight's special guest was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
In some of the content that we
Steve
covered.
was great.
He was terrific. We are now joined by our comic guest, Cory Zooman Miller, who is a comedian that I want to say I have known for almost the entirety of the 30 years that I've been doing comedy. Welcome to the podcast, Zoo.
Zoo, welcome, man.
Wow, thanks, man. Sheesh, I'm old. 30?
We're not getting older, we're just getting better.
Man, I'll take that. If I'll admit any more about being a 70s baby, I'll take that.
Right?
Yeah, I love it.
So far so good. How's the new year been treating you?
The New Year's pretty decent, man. Yeah, I'm a little cautious. You know, I was excited about last year a little too early.
What, did something happen?
Yeah, did something bad go on? Did something bad happen in 2020?
Yeah, man, the Fat Boys broke up, man. The Fat Boys broke up.
Oh.
You know what the problem with the Fat Boys breaking up is? Perhaps one of their better known songs has to do with the Fat Boys being back.
Yeah, Fat Boy's back.
Wow.
Which is tough.
Right?
Now that they're broken up.
I want to tell you, there is no quicker trip to obscurity than mentioning a year in your lyrics.
Yeah, that'll get you
Right?
stuck a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because 1999 don't you know what I mean? It kind of passed that point. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Prince, get over it.
Over in 1999. They're like, yeah, you play it now. He's like, really? 99?
There was a time in my life when I was introduced to a song that had in the lyric, I want to say it's 1991, son, which is now 30 years ago.
Oof. All right, so you've done a really good job of making us feel old so far in this segment.
I'm just saying.
Bring anything else to the table.
Well, hold on a second. There was a time, probably, and I don't know all the lyrics to it, but the Frankie Valli, Oh What a Night, late December 1963.
I hate that song.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, what a night.
Oh, no, I hate that song. No, please don't. Let's stop. Let's just keep going. I know the song.
That song never felt dated. Now that I'm older, he too jinxed the song.
How's that?
Because he referenced it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's right. He did.
What year is it in that song?
1963.
Yeah, not so much excitement when you sing 63. Really?
People now think it's in the future. People are like, oh, he's a song about the future like Prince did.
I know, right?
This guy's talking about dancing in 63.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, man, I can't wait.
So, Zoo, here's the deal. Question number one for our listeners this evening. What does it say on your business card?
My business card. Shiza. The one that I used to use, or
whichever one you want.
The one
or if you have one now, what would it say?
If I had one now, it would say Cory Z. Miller, comedian / and it wouldn't be like the actual slash, the word /
Oh,
nice.
Comedian /
And then and I wouldn't even finish it. It's just comedian / They'd be like, oh, like the guitar player / cool.
Comedian /
All right.
Leave them wanting more.
So I know, because I follow you on social media, you often talk about the walk to the mic.
Right?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So tell somebody who hasn't had that experience, when you say the walk to the mic is everything, what do you mean when you say that?
That's where you kind of have to, as they say, get your shit together. That's like your last chance. That's your last chance to decide not to. That's your last chance. Once you're starting to walk to the mic, yeah, hopefully you got it together by now.
Yeah.
But that's like, if you can get past that part, man, then bam, because most of the people that walking to the mic in itself is going to be the problem. You can call their name and be like,
But is there a sense of excitement as you're walking to the mic, or fear, or what's the emotion?
all of it. Shoot, excitement, fear. Oh my God, I got to pay this bill tomorrow. Like everything.
Is that your moment to be able to control the crowd, or figure out how you're going to set the tone for the show?
I think on the way to the mic for me, I'm just making sure I'm there. Are you here, dude? Are you like mentally not here? Because people can tell.
Well, so it's interesting that you say that, because you've been at it long enough. I've certainly had the experience where you see somebody who is an experienced performer. They have been there. They have made that walk to the mic before a gig that counts, right? And then they get a gig where maybe the audience isn't the size that they want. Maybe there's something about the show that isn't exactly to their specifications. and they phone it in.
Yep.
And that show to me reveals more about a performer's character than the sold out show at the best arena.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
So I got to go out with Cat for a couple different runs of his tour, but the night that he was looking for comedians, I'm hosting a Thursday night with maybe like 15 people in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm performing like I'm in an arena. Like I'm not treating them like, oh, it's only 15 of y'all. Like I'm going all the way out. I'm finishing, submitting the full jokes and ideas. Like it doesn't matter that it's only 15. This is who's here. 15,000 to me. Let's go.
Yeah, they took the time to come out to hear you. You give them the show.
Yeah, man. Come on, this is what you got tonight.
But not everybody does that.
Yeah. I guess it's. Man, I don't want to say generational, but I will say like I'm 50, so performance and having your performance be tight and great performers is a part of what I came up watching. There wasn't a whole lot of phone it in for people that became what you call great.
Right.
You can say it.
There was
kids today. Ugh.
It's
when
true.
I say it makes my gray hairs tingle when I say it.
All right, so let's. Question number 2.
Yes, sir.
Meat and 3 restaurant. You familiar with that conceptually?
No, what is it?
A meat and 3 restaurant.
Pay your dollar.
Pay your dollar into the jar.
Jamie likes to sell this meat and 3 concept. Nobody ever knows what it is.
Okay,
but here we go.
All right, a meat and 3 restaurant is where it's a almost like a cafeteria style restaurant. You get a choice of meat and 3 sides.
Have you thought that maybe we should introduce it as, are you familiar with the type of restaurant where you get a meat and you take 3 sides, rather than opening with meat and 3? You know what that is, right?
You may not meat and 3 veg. You may not.
Right. Yeah. All right. Okay. So now that the concept has been introduced in your life, what is the meat for you? What is the organizing principle? What's the thing around which you base the rest of your life?
Helping people.
That's good.
Helping people. No matter what I'm doing, no matter what I end up in, I'm always trying to figure out how can I use this to help somebody. Like the joke part, making people laugh is going to be obvious, but it's always when I was on the station, I was thinking of how many comics can I use before they tell me that's enough.
Right. So, excuse me.
As a vet in the city, I love talking to young comics all the time. I was telling them today on Clubhouse, I don't have I only talk to. I talk to people who match my passion for comedy. I don't have that guy's an open micer. If he got passion like I got for this, we talking.
You may have heard Bendel cough there. He actually died. So I'm going to take over the interview here.
That's not fair. I'm still right here.
You're ridiculous.
Sorry, I thought you died.
You always cough right into the mic.
I'm still right here.
Okay.
Yeah, be a professional. Don't cough in the mic.
A guy can hope.
So, all right. So that's the meat, helping people. Now, the three, what are the 3 attributes that you would like people to most closely associate with you?
Ooh.
Artist.
Yeah. Art and artist. Because I think that there's times where you could create something that, wow, what a piece of art. Then there's people who are only in pursuit of that art.
I like that.
That's it. They jumped off the road a long time ago. It's like, screw y'all. And what you like? I'm going down to the canyon. And, some of the craziest and best stuff comes out of that fearless pursuit off-road.
All right. So what are the other 2?
Come back with some goodies. That Damn it! Wait! What was that? When my marijuana kicks in right now.
Yeah, so it's things you want. The last two things you want people to think about you.
How about whistling? How do you feel about whistling?
Whistling is not the big deal.
Yeah.
I think it is, Jamie. Honestly, Jamie here thinks whistling is like his career going forward. It's not a career path. It's a hobby.
That's what an amateur says about whistling.
Yeah, well, it's
Us
not.
pros.
I mean, in fairness, right now there are some break dancers who are preparing to be Olympians because breakdancing is now going to be in the Olympics.
I didn't realize. Is that true?
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah. So whistling could definitely pull up one year.
Thank you.
You've gotten his hopes up way too high, Zoo.
Can you say that again?
Hey man, dude, when I saw they was gonna make breakdancing as Olympic lane, I'm like, are you serious? I could be an Olympic coach.
Okay, so I will tell you that there was a time in my life where I
don't tell me
I'm
this.
telling you this.
No.
I
Tell it.
I would pay. How much do I got to pay you to make you nuts?
I'm telling
The
you.
mean streets of New Jersey.
No, I am telling you that I did try to learn how to break dance.
Yeah, dance battle and Jamie. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, but the song that I tried to learn how to breakdance to
Was the Frankie Valli song?
no,
Ice Ice Baby.
no,
Hilarious.
it was Eddie. It was Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue. No joke. Me and my brother in our house trying to learn how to breakdance to Eddie Grant's Electric Avenue, which, by the way, is not technically a breakdance song.
No.
Dude, that's a great selection because you don't get looked at for your how much hip hop does he really know?
Right.
It wasn't like you picked out a hip hop song and somebody slid you, hey, this would knock their socks off.
That's right.
No.
If you were in the Olympics, you come out with that "Oh What a Night" song and try and break dance to that. People are like, I can't believe he chose this song. You're brilliant.
Honey,
Yeah, he stands out.
Were they breakdancing? Were they breakdancing in '63?
Oh, what a night. Ooh, he's popping and locking the
I think Mendel's upset that we're not
actually
focused
so
on his Electric Avenue.
His Electric Avenue dance
No,
career.
so listen,
That's
recently,
ridiculous.
but hold on a second. Recently, the
No,
guy...
let's not hold
yeah,
on.
No, this is a legit... Since we've introduced the subject, you went down that road. We're going to go down the road for a second.
All right.
The
Let's
guy,
go.
and I'm now drawing a blank on his name,
Yeah.
but he was one of the main characters in the movie Breakin'. Recently
And
died.
You're
you
talking
knew him?
about-
He was in that
So
song?
hold on a second. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name.
Okay.
Hey, Adam, producer, can you get that for us?
Just
I'm not
recently
the
died.
producer. I'm the talent, jackass.
Just recently died.
Hilarious. You're talking about Shabadoo.
Shabadoo.
Leonez.
Yes.
Well played, Zoo.
Okay. But
Hey,
well, it was a
man,
notable
I was a
death.
teacher.
Yeah.
I can't be an Olympian if I don't know who the other Olympians.
Shabadoo.
Right. So anyway, the movie Breakin' was an actually very successful at the box office movie, but then also actually also had a pretty significant kind of societal impact because it really was exposing something that a lot of people didn't necessarily have a tremendous familiarity with.
Okay.
Yeah,
where is this going? Because we're driving
It
down the
led
road.
to me being in my house in upstate New York trying to figure out how to breakdance
Oh,
to
little
Eddie
Jamie.
Grant's Electric Avenue.
Because you saw Breaking' and you were dance battling with some guys at school. So you're like,
No, it was something where I was like, this is really cool. I'd like to figure out how to do this. And so we went home and put on a 45 of Electric Avenue and tried to figure it out.
do you have any
Can
video?
I
Sorry. We do have a guest.
Can
Maybe
I
we
tell
should
you
let
about
him talk.
fate? Can I tell you about fate, though, James? Can I tell you about fate and
Yeah.
how you and I end up on this phone? I used to teach breakdancing,
Is that right?
and I taught it in Caldwell, New Jersey.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's so great.
not too far from the Sopranos creator's house.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm in Caldwell, New Jersey. Oh my God, I was teaching big fat classes, Duke, and then I was making all this money from teaching breakdancing because it's the only one other black family in the city. That's it. And they kept trying to hook me up with the other black girl that was in our school, and I was like, I don't want her. Want Susan also. I'm with the rest of the guys on this one. Susan, so yeah. Susan.
Yeah,
And I want to talk to Erica. Yeah, stop hooking me up with her. I don't like her. Looking back, because this was the 80s, they probably thought I was selling drugs.
But you crushed it. You crushed it. You taught those kids how to break dance. That's good. And by the way,
did.
it goes
And
back to your meat, which is, helping people out.
Helping people out. I'm helping these white kids learn how to break dance. They're cool as hell when I'm done with them. Wait. Hey, I want to step further. We started a breakdancing crew.
I just love
the Breakomatics.
Yeah,
the Breakomatics.
So listen. With time and age, I love the optimism of thinking things are possible, right? So there comes a time in your life where you think, I'm going to form a band, or we're going to start a dance crew.
Right.
And it seems like this is a legitimate pursuit.
Like
podcasting.
Yeah.
Like a podcast is now, right? Where you're like, we could totally do this.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, we're still there.
We are basically
holding on to that.
50-year-old breakdancers.
Yeah.
Right? That's essentially what we are. So
I'll take it.
Yeah. And I just think that as you get older, like, it's hard to try to maintain that optimism, particularly when you become a parent.
Right.
Right? Your kids have these pursuits, and you know that life is probably going to take these pursuits away from them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And having something and finding something that you can hold on to that actually is kind of that flame that burns inside you, right? And letting them have that, and that maybe it's indulging the breakdance crew that turns into a love of music production or other type of performing that leads them into some career, right? And that it's way too easy to say, you'll never make it, you'll never do it. And I think that there comes a time when you have to just embrace that stuff and go, all right, you guys want to do a breakdance crew? Great, I'll drive you to the gig.
I mean, I really feel like that's what I'm hearing from my family about this podcast.
No, I think that's true, because if you look at some of the sheep that are listening to this right now, some of them are like, maybe I could be a sweater someday. Maybe I could be a quilt.
Right.
Yeah. And it's don't give up the dream of quilt.
But there's stuff that you all did. Like, you go back and you think about the former stuff that you did, and you're like, we did it. And we tried it, and it didn't work, but it
was fun trying.
In some respects gave us the confidence either to not have regrets when we got older,
try other stuff,
or to keep trying stuff on until something fits.
I love it. Let's go to speed round.
Speed round. You ready, Zoo?
Did we get 3 vegetables?
Let's get it.
We did. All right. You want to go clockwise or counterclockwise in the way these questions? Counter?
Makes sense.
All right. So I will start, and then we will go from there. All right.
So the idea of this round is
speed
these
round.
are incredibly deep questions, but we want really short answers.
Yeah. This is speed round.
Perfect.
Okay. Question 1. What beliefs have you adopted from other people that don't serve you now?
I would say that is Hollywood.
Excellent.
Perfect.
What piece of advice would you give your younger self if you could?
Hey, stop that shit.
Good.
Awesome.
Where in your life could courage create closure?
Every girlfriend I've ever had.
Boom.
All right. What choice had the greatest impact on your life?
Leaving LA to come home be dead.
Nice. If people came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Don't do that shit.
Do that shit.
Describe your relationship with your father in 1 sentence.
Where you at?
All right. So that is our rapid fire round. We now are going to introduce something that I know exists for all comics. And it's always something I'm excited to explore. And it's the concept of a broken bit. So this is something that is an idea that you as a comic love, but you can't quite get to work the way you want it to with an audience.
But you think it's funny.
Yes. Yeah, I think this this may be too deep when I reach, or I might be trying to lift too much weight at the same time. But it's my magnum opus as far as voices go.
Ooh, all right.
And I am going to pull this off one day.
Okay.
So Barack Obama, Nelson Mandela, Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King Jr. are all in Chicago at a cookout talking to each other about their favorite Jay-Z album.
All right.
We are the perfect ones to fix this
love
broken
this.
bit.
I love this.
Yeah. So the Jay-Z album all fit their personalities. Jay-Z got so many albums, you could just start assigning them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dr. King jumps in. Well, I know these days have difficulties. And some of you may not understand the actual complexity of Jay-Z's lyrics. In that case, I would have to refer you to the album Watch the Throne. It speaks of kingly things. It speaks of godly things. Well, I hear you on that. I hear you on that, Dr. King. I hear that. I would differ.
Oh, so good.
I would differ. I would actually throw in there, Can't Knock the Hustle. That first album was hard. I know what it's like being first in a place. I don't care what you say. In South Africa, we don't have time for all of that flashy stuff. We only know the Hard Knocks life tour. Yeah.
So good.
It basically gets into art.
Gets into an argument, a backyard argument.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Bit.
That can't be a broken bit.
That is the greatest bit ever.
Well,
that is,
okay.
I love. By the way, your impressions are spot on.
Thank you, man.
So let me ask you
Well,
this. So let me ask you about impressions generally, right? So when do you figure out that you can manipulate your voice in a way that it sounds like another person?
You said, when did I first know that?
Yeah,
like
when
a
did
Rich Little? Like, did you see
like
like Rich Little as a kid or something like that? And you're like, oh, I could do impressions.
Wow. Dude, funny you should say that. I was in Vegas and saw a picture, a billboard that said Rich Little was performing, and I damn near lost it. I was like, oh, shit. Rich Little. Oh, God, look at Rich Little. Nobody else knew what I was talking about. I'm like, dude, this dude does voices effortlessly. Oh, my God, Rich Little. Rich Little definitely plays a part into it. I didn't think I was like trying to do voices. Rich Little plays a part in it. Richard Pryor is the catalyst mainly.
Yeah.
He did so many voices and characters. I grew up on it.
Another question with the impressions is how much of it is voice and how much of it is like facial expressions, movements?
I try to go with voice really strong.
Yeah.
And physical things you can see. Try to do those later because what if they're not in the place and they can't see? Yeah.
Get the voice first and then add the other stuff.
Are there any impressions that you're trying to get that you just can't get right?
Now, funny, my can't get right might still suffice, but I'm still like, so I'm doing voiceover for Comedy Hype, and so far, anytime we've had Red Fox, I will do Red, not like, I'm not going to read this whole thing in Red Fox voice. I'm only doing it where he's in quotes, he's being quoted. Right?
Right.
So I'm still getting, like on these comments, there are people that are like, love it, love the narration. Oh my God, the impression. It's not one of my regulars. I just really started doing a Red Fox recently. Never really was doing it. So there's some people that's like, I don't like when you do the impression. It just, Then there's people who are like, freaking love it. Yeah. I even asked the people, I said, I even did two versions. When I recorded it, I recorded one straight. I recorded one with him. But if when I do this voice, it's not good enough for you. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, you shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
So do you, and I always wonder this question is it more from a comedic perspective, are you more interested in putting the voice that you can do in like a current events kind of situation, like Obama saying goodbye to Donald Trump after, they're changing the White House again?
Right, or Jay-Z album.
Or are you better to say, I'm going to put all these voices in a scenario of my own creation, like in the backyard at a barbecue?
Right.
I think we probably use just the appetizers worth of something happening today to set up getting into a whole nother scenario that has nothing to do with anything going on. They might not just take that deep idea right off the top.
That's a guy who knows his craft.
So,
that's good.
Like, I just started working on something last week, and it was about what happened at the Capitol. Mm-hmm. So see what happens when you don't invite no black people? It just don't happen at our protest.
I like that.
Our protest, we're going to burn some shit up possibly, and don't really know if we did that to keep it 100, but we will congregate, you know what I mean? But this is a little bit different what happened right here. I can't believe this guy just told them to go down the street, and I'm going to go with you. I'm not mad at what they did. They did it because they thought he was coming.
Right.
You ever posed him?
Yeah, classic. I'll jump in after you.
It's the Will Ferrell. We're going streaking, and then no one follows it. Right. But in this case, everyone followed him, and he didn't do it.
Hey, even better, it's the quintessential. Hey, ladies, follow us. Okay.
Right.
That's exactly right.
Are they still back there? I don't know.
I have no idea. Jeez. All right, man.
But the joke is, I said Barack Obama would have never did that. He would have never. Come on, not for nothing. We had a whole lot of shit we should have stormed the Capitol about. Never did. We haven't stormed Capitol records for shit, and they put out a lot of trash. But imagine Barack telling us, getting on stage and saying goofy shit like that, and then he just goes into the, I want people all the way from Columbia, South Carolina, all the way to Compton, California. They stole from us. They stole from me. They stole from you.
They stole from
Inside that Capitol building is your stimulus check money. I want you to pull up. Oh, I want you to pull up. Yo. Yeah, imagine the whole country would have split in half. All of these hoods pulling up to D.C. Hey, Barack told me to come, shout it.
Right.
Barack said.
My check's inside.
Yeah. That's
dig
good.
It, right, dig it.
Right. All right, so I appreciate it.
That off the ground.
And
I had fun. This was awesome,
yeah,
man.
You're a great guy. It's been fun talking with you.
Oh, dude, the three of y'all together, great movement, podcast-wise. And it's not... You don't do what a lot of people's podcasts do, and that's languish.
Right?
There's a lot of.
But think about how good it would be without Adam.
Oh, easy, buddy. Come on.
Oh,
Mr. Whistle over there is getting all. He got upset because I teased about his whistling.
Okay,
nice,
so
strong,
all right. So since we asked,
whistle.
so hang on, Zoo. Do you whistle?
Do
you ever whistle?
I do.
All right. When you
I'm
whistle,
not great at.
When you whistle, fingers in mouth or no fingers?
Oh my God! I thought these dudes were like warlocks and magicians who could do that.
Which?
The fingers in mouth stuff?
Yes, I still don't know how to do that shit.
Yeah,
no, it is. It is kind of a warlock thing.
This is what I was told.
One note
all you gotta do is put two fingers like this, curl your tongue, and then I'm talking about like a freaking foghorn. Oh.
Yeah. I was always most impressed. So Adam reminded me, because I never thought about fingers in mouth. 2 fingers from one hand in the mouth whistle. I never learned that. I was like,
wait a minute.
I was like full envisioning pinkies in corner of mouth, harsh whistle.
Mm.
Whoa, wait a minute. So we talking 2 pinkies, 2 hands, or we talking the pinky and the pointer rock and roll style?
No, that's what he said.
See, I'm that way. I'm a thumb.
He went index and thumb.
Yeah,
whistler.
and getting them underneath the tongue and pushing that tongue back and then throwing it over the tongue. But Jamie did 2 pinkies. I always assume
because I don't whistle with fingers, so I'm a non-finger whistler.
Hold on, we're going to pass around some hand sanitizer.
No. Okay, so hang on a second.
Cutting into your whistle empire this year.
Look how mad he is about his whistle.
I So I know nothing about whistling competitions. Okay, and we have definitely covered the gamut from breakdancing to whistling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both maybe future Olympic sports.
But if you're telling me that's a whistling competition where you're using someone else's fingers to whistle, because they are then the standard fingers that everybody has to whistle with, you're taking stranger finger in your mouth.
Oh, that's creepy. I'm not doing stranger fingers.
You're talking pre-COVID.
I think that's a Pornhub sponsored event.
Yeah, honestly, I think stranger fingers. That's one of those things COVID's going to take away from us.
Yeah,
there's no more stranger fingers.
I would love to casually introduce in conversation to somebody to be like, do you
whistle stranger fingers?
Do you stranger finger whistle?
That's another back corner of Spencer's.
What did you just tell me? What did you just ask me?
Yeah, whistles. Stranger fingers.
Yeah, I never learned of freaky. First of all, that would be the most. That would be like in the event that you're ever like meeting people for the first time. You're on like the company retreat, and it's like you do that. Tell me a secret that no one else can guess about you, and then everybody tries to guess whose secret it is. Yeah, icebreaker deal. You don't ever put. I can only whistle with strangers' fingers.
Oh, shit.
They'd be like,
that's going to get you
is a
high.
freak.
Yeah. What happened to Denise? She was here for day one.
Did you hear that Calvin guy?
Wait a minute.
He wants to put
Steve
stranger
says
fingers
you can
in
only
his
whistle
mouth.
with strangers' fingers.
You want to know the craziest thing about it?
Yeah.
Craziest thing about it, that was originally the name of Stranger Things, but they said that's too scary. We do
Stranger
Fingers.
It's too scary.
Too scary.
Yeah. All right. Social media. Where do people find you?
Zuman Miller on social media. I've been doing a zoo at noon as much as I can keep up with it, but it doesn't necessarily drop at noon. I've done zoo at noon at 5:45 p.m.
Yeah, makes
sense. Our
sense.
toes.
Yeah,
Right.
But it's when maybe something happens and I grab it. But right now, that's where you can find me.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the podcast.
Thanks,
This was fun,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Thank you.
All right.
Fun.
Be good, my
Hey,
friend.
whistle on.
All right. That was Cory Zooman
What a
Miller.
great guy. I like that guy.
Awesome.
We had two great guests today. Two guests I want to be best friends with.
And two great hosts.
You pick which host you least prefer.
After you hit the subscribe button, because that's what you're going to do first.
Subscribe, like, do all the stuff that we need you to do. Spread the word.
But a comment about which two hosts probably pulled this off best.
I may regret that.
You do not want to be
You're not gonna
part
like
of
this.
the lonely flock.
The lonely flock. One is the loneliest flock that I've ever seen.
I don't think you can have in the same way that you can't have a one sheep flock.
Concur. I stand corrected.
Technically, you can't have more shepherds than you have sheep.
Sheep, we did it all. We talked about whistling. We talked about breakdancing. We kind of, behind the paywall, there's some crazy stuff. Be careful if you go back there.
And friendly, if you remember nothing about how to live your life, don't put the fingers of strangers in your mouth.
No stranger fingers.
No stranger fingers.
All right, sheep, we're all done here. Go off, enjoy your grass, enjoy your flocking, enjoy your jumping. Just have a good time.
If you want to give us a rating, a 5-star rating, we'd really like that on iTunes or
First of all,
Spotify or wherever else.
Let's. We're not in the position of sympathy reviews.
Oh, we'll take sympathy reviews.
No, we don't take sympathy reviews. If you're giving a sympathetic review, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, but
I'm
if
not
you don't want to
in
give a sympathetic
I'm
review,
gonna say
and you just want to give us an aggressive 5-star and talk about with power,
not even an
and
aggressive
sympathy,
5-star. It's an earned multi-star review.
If you think we've earned it, go ahead and drop it.
Not even if you think we've earned it, you know we have earned a multi-star review.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you how many multiple stars to use.
5.
We don't live in a single-star universe.
I concur. And honestly, if you don't
Don't even invite that as a subject.
thank you for the stars.
Could you please? And if it's not too much time,
Honestly, sheep, just run off to your hills.
Do it.
Frolic, enjoy
5
your life.
it.
Don't let that dog hit you in the back leg because he's been a bastard.
You probably
all week.
can't see it, but we've been branding you as 5-star reviews the entire friggin' time.
Don't let that dog get you. Peace out, sheep.
Taka taka.
Bye.